Your body has already made its choice. It has been answering for hours in the only language it knows. Your eyes grew heavier even while you asked them to stay alert. Your shoulders lowered whenever no one was watching. Your steps became slower between one responsibility and the next. A long breath escaped you before you had decided to take it. Your hands paused over ordinary things. Your face became still for a moment, then arranged itself again because someone needed something from you. None of those moments were meaningless. They were quiet answers. Your body has been telling the truth beneath all the words you used to continue. You said you were fine because there was still something to finish. You said it could wait because another person's need felt more urgent. You said you would stop soon, sit down soon, breathe soon, close your eyes soon. Soon kept moving. The hour changed, but the demands did not seem to end with it. One small task became another. One concern opened the way to the next. Even after the visible work was done, your mind kept touching everything again, checking what had happened, what had not happened, what might happen, and what someone could need from you tomorrow. Still, your body kept answering. It answered with the heaviness behind your eyes. It answered with the part of your back that wanted support. It answered with the jaw that had been firm for longer than you realized. It answered with the breath you kept holding whenever you tried to stay composed. It answered with the quiet wish to have nothing asked of you for a little while. Tonight, that answer counts. It does not need to win an argument. It does not need to prove that you worked hard enough. It does not need anyone else to agree that the day was demanding. It does not need a list of completed tasks as evidence. The need you feel is enough. You have. Ave reached the part of the day when effort no longer has to be the loudest voice within you. The room does not require your performance. The darkness does not expect an explanation. The bed does not ask whether you earned the right to lie down. Your breathing does not need to be impressive. Your thoughts do not have to become wise before you close your eyes. You can arrive exactly as you are. You can arrive with thoughts still moving. You can arrive with a heart that has not sorted every feeling. You can arrive with questions that remain unanswered. You can arrive with the memory of a conversation you wish had gone differently. You can arrive with concern for someone you love. You can arrive with disappointment, relief, uncertainty, gratitude, or nothing you can name. There is room for all of it without requiring you to solve any of it now. The part of you that kept going has done enough for this day. It may not believe that yet. It may still be listening for another request. It may still be expecting a message, a sound, a problem, or a reason to get back up. It may still be reviewing every detail because that is how you have learned to protect what matters. You do not have to criticize that part of yourself. It was trying to help. It stayed alert because life has asked you to be alert many times. It remembered details because forgetting sometimes had consequences. It kept thinking because thinking gave you the feeling that you were preparing. It stayed ready because readiness once seemed safer than ease. That effort deserves understanding, not punishment. You are not doing anything wrong because your mind has not become quiet the instant you lay down. You are not failing because your muscles remain tense after the day has ended. You are not difficult because comfort takes time to reach you. You are not ungrateful because there are good things in your life and you are still worn down. You are not weak because one ordinary day asked more of you than you expected. The truth can be much kinder than the judgment you may have placed upon yourself. You have been giving. Perhaps you gave your attention while your own thoughts waited in the background. You listened carefully to someone who needed to be heard, even though you had feelings of your own. You answered with patience when irritation would have been understandable. You adjusted your plans. You remembered details. You tried to prevent problems before they became visible. You may have made decisions no one noticed. You may have chosen calm words while something inside you felt strained. You may have completed work while your concentration was already fading. You may have smiled because it seemed easier than explaining the truth. You may have kept a concern private because you did not want to place more weight on someone else. You may have accepted changes you did not choose. You may have cared for a home, a family, a workplace, or a person whose needs did not pause simply because your energy was low. The world often sees the action but not the cost. It sees that you answered. It does not always see how long you searched for the right words. It sees that you arrived. It does not always see how much effort it took to prepare yourself. It sees that you completed the task. It does not always see the tiredness you worked through to complete it. It sees that you stayed calm. It does not always see what you had to contain in order to appear that way. It sees that you kept going. It does not always see the moments when you wanted someone else to say, "I will take care of this part." Those hidden moments matter. They matter even if no one praised you. They matter even if the result was imperfect. They matter even if you changed your mind, lost patience, forgot something, or did less than you planned. You were a human being moving through a real day with a limited amount of strength. You were never meant to have an endless supply. There were moments when you needed to stop, and you continued. There were feelings that asked for your attention, and you postponed them. There were small signals from within, and you answered the outside world first. You may have been doing this for much longer than one day. There are people who become so practiced at functioning that others forget functioning has a cost. They become dependable, so more is placed before them. They become calm, so others assume they are never overwhelmed. They become skilled at understanding everyone else, so no one thinks to ask what they need. You may know that pattern. You may be the one who notices changes in another person's voice. You may be the one who remembers appointments, preferences, promises, and problems. You may be the one who senses tension before anyone speaks about it. You may be the one who fills gaps, corrects details, prepares what is needed, and keeps ordinary life moving. You may do these things from love. Love can be beautiful, and love can also use your energy. Responsibility can be meaningful, and responsibility can still leave you weary. Being needed can bring purpose, and being needed without enough recovery can become painful. Two truths can exist together. You can care deeply and still need distance from demands. You can be grateful and still need quiet. You can love people and still need time when no one reaches for you. You can be strong and still want to be cared for. You can understand why something happened and still feel hurt by it. You can forgive someone and still need your body to come down from what it experienced. You can believe that tomorrow contains possibilities and still be unable to think about them now. Nothing about that makes you unkind. It makes you honest. There may have been a moment today when you almost let the truth show. Your face may have changed before you corrected it. Your voice may have become lower. Your answer may have taken longer. You may have stood still in a room and forgotten why you entered it. You may have looked at something simple and felt that even one more decision was too much. Then you continued. You found the next step. You answered the next question. You completed the next small duty. No one may have understood how much strength that required. You understood, even if you did not stop to acknowledge it. Your body understood. That is why its choice matters now. It has supported you through every hour without demanding that you speak perfectly about what you felt. It has carried the tension you did not have time to process. It has kept your heart moving through disappointment and relief. It has taken each breath while your attention was somewhere else. Now it is asking for less sound, less effort, less arranging, less explaining, less readiness, less responsibility for what cannot be changed before dawn. You do not need to force yourself into complete calm. Forcing would only become another job. This is not a test of how quickly you can become peaceful. There is no prize for reaching stillness first. There is no failure in needing time to settle. The day did not disappear all at once, so its effects may not disappear all at once either. They can loosen gradually. One part of you can settle while another part remains watchful. One muscle can release while another still remembers its work. One thought can pass while another waits behind it. You do not have to manage this perfectly. The hours ahead can meet you in the condition you are already in. You are not required to become a different person before comfort reaches you. You have spent enough time today correcting yourself. You corrected your expression. You corrected your words. You corrected your timing. You corrected the way you reacted. You corrected what you forgot. You corrected what someone else misunderstood. You corrected plans after circumstances changed. You may even have corrected your feelings before you had fully felt them. You told yourself not to be upset. You told yourself not to take it personally. You told yourself other people had it harder. You told yourself to be thankful. You told yourself to remain positive. You told yourself that you should be able to handle more. Those statements may have been attempts to keep yourself moving, but they were not always kindness. Kindness does not require you to deny the day's effect on you. Kindness can say that something was difficult without turning difficulty into defeat. Kindness can say you were hurt without deciding you are damaged. Kindness can say you reached your limit without calling that limit a flaw. Kindness can meet you here after all the correction is finished and speak more quietly. You did what you could with what you had. You made choices while lacking complete information. You responded while carrying feelings other people could not see. You tried to protect what mattered. You tried to keep peace. You tried to be responsible. You tried to be useful. You tried to remain connected. You tried to get through the day without adding pain to anyone else. Some of those efforts worked. Some did not. Some may never be recognized. Their value does not depend entirely on the result. The care within them was real. There may also have been moments when you were not your best self. You may have sounded impatient. You may have withdrawn. You may have delayed something important. You may have forgotten to respond. You may have chosen silence when honesty was needed. You may have spoken when silence would have helped. You may have felt resentment towards someone you love. You may have judged yourself before anyone else had the chance. Those moments do not cancel your goodness. They show where your inner resources became thin. A person can reach the edge of their energy and still be worthy of compassion, especially then. You do not need to review every mistake until you feel sufficiently sorry. You do not need to replay every sentence in search of a version of the day that no longer exists. You can learn later. You can repair later. You can apologize later when an apology is needed. You can make a different choice when another choice becomes available. This hour is not improved by putting yourself on trial. You have already lived the day once. You do not have to live every difficult moment again before sleeping. Your mind may still return to certain scenes. Let it return without turning each return into a command. A thought can appear without becoming a task. A memory can rise without requiring a judgment. A concern can be real without needing an answer at this hour. You can know that something matters and still leave it untouched until you have more strength. This is not neglect. It is recognition. You are recognizing that a depleted mind rarely finds its clearest view by demanding more from itself. You are recognizing that urgency can continue long after the urgent moment has passed. You are recognizing that your thoughts may sound certain when your energy is low, even though morning may bring more space around them. You are recognizing that the version of you lying here does not have to make every decision for the version of you who will rise later. Some choices deserve a steadier breath. Some conversations deserve a clearer mind. Some worries become more accurate when they are no longer mixed with exhaustion. Some problems remain real, but they feel less enormous when you are not meeting them at the end of your strength. You do not need to promise that tomorrow will be easy. You do not need to pretend every concern will disappear. You only need to stop asking this worn part of you to predict the whole future. It cannot see the whole future from here. It can only see through the feeling of this hour. The feeling may say that nothing will change. The feeling may say that you have fallen behind. The feeling may say that everyone else is managing better. The feeling may say that you should keep thinking until you find certainty. Feelings can be sincere without being complete. They can tell you what hurts without telling you what will always be true. They can show you that you need care without proving that you have failed. You can listen without obeying every conclusion they offer. The body's answer is simpler. Enough for now. Not enough forever. Not giving up. Not turning away from life. Enough for now. There is wisdom in reaching an ending before you have ruined yourself trying to continue. There is care in closing your eyes while some matters remain open. There is maturity in admitting that no useful answer is coming from another hour of strain. There is courage in letting the day remain imperfect. Perfection has asked enough from you. It asked you to anticipate every need. It asked you to say the correct thing at the correct moment. It asked you to remain patient without becoming depleted. It asked you to care without needing care. It asked you to accomplish without slowing down. It asked you to recover without taking time. It asked you to be available while keeping every private feeling neatly contained. Those demands were never reasonable. You may still feel their pressure because you have heard them for years. They may sound like your own voice now. They may tell you that stopping means falling behind. They may tell you that lying down is wasted time. They may tell you that your worth becomes smaller whenever your output becomes smaller. They may tell you that everyone else has a better reason to be exhausted. You do not have to fight those thoughts tonight. Fighting them would keep you engaged with them. You can let them speak from farther away while you remain where you are. Their presence does not make them true. Their repetition does not make them wise. You have value even when nothing is being completed. You have value when your eyes are closed. You have value when the house is quiet and no one is thanking you. You have value when you are not solving, fixing, planning, or providing. You have value before tomorrow begins asking anything from you. You are still yourself without the tasks. You are still worthy without the useful role. You are still deserving of care when you have no energy left to care for anyone else. This may be difficult to receive. You may be accustomed to love that arrives after achievement. You may have learned to expect warmth only after being helpful, agreeable, calm, or productive. You may have become uncertain about who you are when you are not giving. For these hours, you do not have to answer that uncertainty. You only have to remain here, breathing, supported, unneeded for a little while. Nothing important about you disappears when you stop performing. The people you love do not become less loved because you close your eyes. Your responsibilities do not become abandoned because you set them down for the night. The future does not become neglected because you refuse to fear it continuously. You are permitted to belong to yourself during these quiet hours, not the version of yourself who manages everything, not the version who keeps peace at any cost, not the version who knows what everyone needs, just you, the one beneath the effort, the one who has feelings before explanations, the one who has limits before duties, the one whose body has been asking for care in small ways all day. You may not know exactly what you need beyond this. That is all right. You do not need a perfect routine. You do not need the correct thought. You do not need to produce gratitude, confidence, forgiveness, or hope on demand. You do not need to make this moment meaningful. You can be quiet without turning quiet into another achievement. You can lie here without checking whether you are doing it well. You can let the breath remain natural. You can let the face be unarranged. You can let the hands be empty. You can let your eyes stop searching. A little less effort is enough to begin. The body does not require a speech from you. It already knows you have reached the end of what you could give today. It knows through the heaviness that gathered gradually. It knows through the places that tightened. It knows through the energy that became harder to summon. It knows through the wish to be free from decisions. It knows through the relief you feel when no one is asking a question. That relief is not selfish. It is information. It tells you how long you have been available. It tells you how much attention has moved outward. It tells you that your inner life has been waiting for a quieter hour. Now that hour has come. You do not have to fill it. You do not have to improve it. You do not have to understand everything that happened today. You can let the day become less immediate. A voice from earlier can become quieter in your memory. A mistake can stop demanding punishment. A future task can remain unfinished without becoming a threat. A feeling can be present without taking over the whole room inside you. You have survived many nights when your thoughts insisted that you would never feel differently. Then the light changed. Your breathing changed. Your view changed enough to take one next step. You do not need to know what that step will be now. The part of you that will meet the coming day can receive that information later. This part of you has a different responsibility: to stop reaching, to stop rehearsing, to stop proving, to stop standing guard over every possibility. You may not be able to stop completely. A smaller movement still matters. You can reach less. You can rehearse one sentence fewer. You can leave one question unanswered. You can release one responsibility that does not belong to this hour. That is enough. You have been brave in ways that did not look dramatic. You got up when your heart felt heavy. You answered kindly when your patience was low. You completed ordinary tasks while carrying private concern. You stayed present when you wanted to withdraw. You tried again after disappointment. You kept caring even when care was not returned in the form you needed. You made room for others while your own feelings waited. That kind of bravery is often invisible. It has no applause. It leaves no clear mark at the end of the day. It can look like an ordinary person doing ordinary things. Inside, it may have required nearly everything. You do not have to call yourself brave if the word feels too large. You can call yourself someone who continued, someone who reached this bed, someone whose body is asking to be believed. Believe it a little. Believe the heaviness is not laziness. Believe the slowing is not failure. Believe the wish for quiet is not rejection of life. Believe the need to close your eyes is not a weakness to overcome. Your body is not betraying your plans. It is protecting what remains of your strength. It is asking you not to spend tomorrow's energy before tomorrow arrives. It is asking you to stop treating depletion as a problem of character. It is asking you to listen before the signals must become louder. You may have ignored those signals many times. Do not turn that into another reason for blame. You were doing what you knew. You were responding to the pressures around you. You were trying to keep life moving. Understanding can begin here without accusation. You can say that you have asked a great deal of yourself. You can say that some of those demands were necessary. You can also say that some were driven by fear, habit, or the hope of finally feeling good enough. You can see that without correcting the past tonight. The past does not need a verdict from you before you sleep. It can remain what it was, a collection of moments, some beautiful, some painful, some unfinished, some misunderstood, some handled well, some handled with the limited wisdom and strength you had at the time. Your whole life is not being decided in this hour. Your whole future is not being written by the thoughts moving through your mind. You are lying at the edge of a day that has already taken place. It cannot demand another performance. It cannot become perfect because you stay awake longer. It cannot be relived with different choices. It can only be released from your immediate attention, little by little. You may feel the impulse to hold on. Holding on can feel responsible. It can feel as though constant attention keeps important things from becoming worse. Yet there are moments when attention becomes strain without becoming help. This is one of those moments. You have reached the limit of useful effort for today. That limit is not an enemy. It is a boundary your body has been drawing quietly. Heavy eyes, slower thoughts, a deeper breath, a longing to be free from expectation. The answer has been given. You do not have to overrule it again. Let this be the hour when the body is believed. Let the mind speak more quietly because it no longer has to defend your exhaustion. Let the face lose the expression it wore for other people. Let the shoulders stop preparing for the next demand. Let the hands remember that they can remain still. Let your breathing return to its own pace. You are not required to reach complete ease yet. You are only leaving effort behind in small amounts. A little now, a little more with the next breath. Nothing rushed, nothing forced. The day asked many things from you. You answered as fully as you could. Now the answer is finished. The part of you that kept watch can begin to loosen. You have been listening for changes all day. You listened for the shift in another person's tone. You listened for what was said and what was left unsaid. You listened for signs that something needed your attention before anyone asked. You listened for the moment when patience might be required, when reassurance might be needed, when one more thing might be placed in your hands. That kind of listening can continue long after the room becomes quiet. The body can remain prepared even when no one is calling your name. The mind can keep scanning even after the doors are closed. A small sound can pull you back toward alertness. A thought can arrive carrying the feeling of an emergency, though nothing is happening now. A memory can make your chest respond as though the moment has returned. You are not choosing these reactions on purpose. They are not evidence that you are bad at letting go. They are signs of how deeply you have practiced being ready. Readiness may have helped you through difficult seasons. It may have helped you care for someone whose needs were unpredictable. It may have helped you avoid conflict. It may have helped you stay organized when life felt uncertain. It may have helped you remain dependable when others were not. It may have helped you keep moving when stopping did not feel possible. There is no shame in the ways you learn to survive responsibility. You do not need to reject the person you became in order to become less burdened. You can understand that readiness served a purpose. You can also recognize that it does not need to remain at full strength through every hour of the night. There is nothing you need to defend in this room. There is no expression to read. There is no answer to prepare. There is no mood you must manage. There is no disappointment you must soften before it reaches someone else. For now, you are not responsible for keeping every person comfortable. That responsibility may have followed you from one place to another for years. You may have learned to recognize another person's discomfort before your own. You may have learned that peace depended on your ability to stay calm. You may have learned that being easy to be around was safer than being honest. You may have learned to hide your need because someone else's need filled the room. You may have become careful with your words, careful with your timing, careful with your face, careful with how much truth you revealed, careful with how long you took to recover. That carefulness can be exhausting. It can make even ordinary connection feel like work. It can make you wonder whether people love you or only the version of you that causes no difficulty. It can make you feel lonely while surrounded by people. It can make you wish someone would understand without requiring you to explain everything perfectly. That wish is not too much. You are not too much because you want to be understood. You are not too much because you need reassurance sometimes. You are not too much because your feelings do not always arrive in a convenient order. You are not too much because you become quiet when you do not know how to speak. You are not too much because care has taken something from you. You have spent enough time making yourself smaller so that the day could move more easily around you. Here, you do not need to become smaller. You do not need to erase the sadness from your face. You do not need to turn concern into a lesson. You do not need to transform disappointment into gratitude before it is welcome. You do not need to speak about pain in a way that makes everyone else comfortable. There is a tenderness in you that has been working hard. It has been trying to keep you connected. It has been trying to protect relationships. It has been trying to preserve peace. It has been trying to prevent regret. It has been trying to keep love from being damaged by one wrong word. That tenderness deserves care too. It may be tired of measuring every response. It may be tired of wondering whether you said too much or not enough. It may be tired of returning to conversations after they have ended. It may be tired of imagining what another person thought. It may be tired of taking responsibility for emotions that were never yours to control. You cannot carry every interpretation of you. You cannot make every person understand your intentions. You cannot prevent every disappointment. You cannot remain kind by abandoning yourself. Kindness that never includes you becomes a quiet form of loss. You may have called it patience. You may have called it maturity. You may have called it keeping the peace. At times, it was all of those things. At other times, it was you disappearing from your own life so that no one else would feel uncomfortable. You can see this with compassion. See, is no need to accuse yourself. You did what seemed necessary. You made choices from the understanding you had. You learned patterns in places where you needed to belong. You learned them in families, relationships, workplaces, or seasons when your stability depended on being useful. You learned to anticipate. You learned to adapt. You learned to remain pleasant while hurting. You learned to carry on because there was no clear place to put the weight. Those patterns are not proof that something is wrong with you. They are proof that you are trying to find safety. Now you can begin to discover that safety does not always require effort. Sometimes safety looks like doing less. Sometimes it looks like not responding immediately. Sometimes it looks like letting someone be disappointed without rushing to repair their feeling. Sometimes it looks like leaving a question unanswered until you have the strength to answer honestly. Sometimes it looks like closing your eyes before everything is complete. You may feel resistance to that idea. A voice may say that everything will fall apart if you stop. A voice may remind you of times when no one stepped in. A voice may insist that you are the only one who notices what needs to be done. That voice has reasons. It remembers moments when you were left with too much. It remembers promises that were not kept. It remembers how quickly disorder can grow when no one takes responsibility. You do not need to silence it harshly. You can thank it for trying to protect you. You can let it know that nothing must be settled in this hour. You can let it stand down one small step at a time. The world does not need to be perfect while you lie here. Someone may misunderstand something. A task may remain incomplete. A message may wait. A plan may change. A person may have feelings you cannot manage. None of these possibilities require your full attention now. You are not being careless. You are being human. Human beings cannot remain available without pause. They cannot give clear attention while endlessly depleted. They cannot offer patience from a body that has never been given time to recover. They cannot keep making wise decisions while treating every hour as urgent. You were not designed to be a machine for other people's comfort. You were not designed to carry every need without feeling the weight. You were not designed to remain composed without consequence. You were not designed to keep producing while your inner life goes unattended. You may have expected yourself to do all of this because others expected it. You may have admired people who seemed endlessly capable. You may have believed that becoming stronger meant needing less. But strength is not the absence of need. Strength is not pretending that strain does not exist. Strength is not smiling until no one knows you are hurting. Strength is not agreeing when your whole body wants to step back. Strength can also be the honesty to say that you have reached your limit. It can be the wisdom to stop before resentment grows. It can be the courage to receive help without earning it first. It can be the willingness to leave something unfinished because your health matters more than completion. You may still be learning this kind of strength. Learning takes time. Old habits do not disappear because you understand them once. The body may continue preparing for demands that are not present. The mind may continue reviewing old responsibilities. You may continue feeling guilty when you do less. None of that means you are moving backward. It means the old way became familiar. Familiar patterns can feel safer than kinder ones. You can choose kindness slowly. You can begin with the way you speak to yourself tonight. You can stop calling yourself lazy. You can stop calling yourself weak. You can stop saying you should have done more. You can stop comparing your hidden struggle with someone else's visible success. You do not know what another person carries. You do not know what support they receive. You do not know how much recovery their life gives them. You do not know what they hide. Comparison rarely tells the whole truth. It usually takes your most vulnerable moment and places it beside someone else's strongest appearance. That is not a fair measure. Your day belongs to your own life. Your energy belongs to your own body. Your needs do not become less valid because someone else has different needs. You do not have to reach complete collapse before care becomes reasonable. You do not need to wait until your body refuses to continue. You do not need a crisis as permission to stop. Small exhaustion matters. The headache you pushed through matters. The irritation you judged yourself for matters. The wish to be alone matters. The tears that nearly came matter. The numbness matters. The moment you stared at a simple task and could not begin matters. These are not moral failures. They are messages. Sometimes they mean you have carried too much for too long. Sometimes they mean you need support beyond what you can give yourself. Sometimes they mean your life has been asking for more than one person can reasonably provide. You do not need to diagnose yourself in the dark. You do not need to decide whether your experience is serious enough. You only need to stop dismissing it. Ongoing exhaustion, deep burnout, or a low mood that keeps returning deserves real care. Rest can support recovery. Quiet can help the mind settle. A good night can make tomorrow more manageable. Still, sleep is not a medical treatment, and you do not have to face persistent struggles alone. A trusted professional, a doctor, a counselor, or someone trained to help can offer support when the weight does not lift. Seeking that support is not a betrayal of your strength. It is not proof that you failed to handle life. It is one more way of refusing to abandon yourself. You have helped other people without asking them to prove they deserved help. You have understood that others can reach limits. You have recognized that pain becomes heavier when carried alone. You deserve the same understanding. You deserve to be taken seriously before things become unbearable. You deserve to speak honestly without being told to think positively. You deserve care that does not depend on how well you explain your pain. You deserve to be met as a person, not as a problem to be solved quickly. For now, you do not have to make any decision about that. The thought can remain nearby without becoming another task. It is enough to remember that support exists. It is enough to remember that your life is worth tending. It is enough to stop treating your exhaustion as evidence against your character. You are not tired because you are failing at life. You may be tired because you have been living it with great attention. You may be tired because love has required effort. You may be tired because uncertainty has kept your mind active. You may be tired because you have been adapting to changes you did not choose. You may be tired because the world has felt louder than your ability to process it. You may be tired because your body has carried stress while you continued smiling. You may be tired because you have gone too long without being cared for in the way you care for others. That is not brokenness. It is a human response to pressure. It is the body saying that it cannot keep spending without receiving. It is the heart saying that constant strength has become lonely. It is the mind asking for space where nothing has to be answered. There is no shame in any of this. Shame may still appear. It may tell you that other people have faced worse. It may remind you of all the things you did not accomplish. It may point towards someone who seems to manage more. Shame likes to speak in comparisons. Compassion speaks directly to the person in front of it. Compassion sees your actual day. It sees the moment you got up when you wanted to remain still. It sees the effort behind your ordinary actions. It sees the feelings you postponed. It sees the care you offered. It sees where you made mistakes because your energy was thin. It sees where you needed support and did not receive it. Compassion does not ask whether someone else had a harder day. It asks what this day cost you. You may not know how to answer. You may have become disconnected from your own cost. You may only know that you feel heavy. That is enough information for now. You do not need a complete explanation before you begin taking yourself seriously. The heaviness has a place here. The disappointment has a place here. The anger has a place here. The blankness has a P. Lace here. The relief that the day is over has a place here. Even the guilt about feeling relieved can be welcomed without judgment. There are days when the end feels like rescue. There are days when lying down is the first moment you realize how much you were carrying. There are days when the body becomes honest only after all the duties are done. It may tremble a little. It may ache. It may feel restless. It may feel unable to settle, even though it wanted this quiet all day. That contradiction is common. The body can long for ease and still struggle to enter it. After hours of alertness, stillness can feel unfamiliar. After giving so much attention outward, turning inward can reveal feelings that were waiting. You may feel more before you feel less. That does not mean the quiet is making things worse. It may mean there is finally room for what was postponed. You do not have to process everything that appears. You can meet each feeling with a smaller response. You can say, "This is here." You can say, "This was a hard moment." You can say, "I do not need to solve this now." You can say, "I will not punish myself for having a human response." The words do not need to sound perfect. They only need to be kinder than the words you have used against yourself. You may be used to motivation that arrives through criticism. You may have believed that pressure keeps you responsible. You may have feared that without harshness, you would stop caring. But the harsh voice has not made you limitless. It has only made your limits feel shameful. It has not removed your need for recovery. It has only taught you to hide it. It has not made you more worthy. It has only made worth feel conditional. You can remain responsible without being cruel to yourself. You can care about your life without attacking the person living it. You can want growth without treating your current self as unacceptable. You can make changes from respect instead of disgust. That change may begin here in the quiet, with the decision not to put yourself on trial again. You have had enough judges. You have carried enough imagined opinions. You have listened long enough to the voice that says you must do more before you can feel at peace. Peace does not need to be a reward. It can be part of the care that helps you continue. The mind often believes that pressure creates progress. Sometimes it does for a short while, but pressure without relief eventually narrows your thinking. It makes small problems feel larger. It makes uncertainty feel dangerous. It makes ordinary mistakes feel personal. It can make you react to the present through the fear of everything that came before. That is not a flaw in your nature. It is what strain can do. When the system has been active too long, it loses the ability to tell the difference between a real emergency and a thought about one. You may feel urgency while lying still. Your heart may respond to a future conversation. Your stomach may tighten around an event that has not happened. Your jaw may prepare for words that have not been spoken. You do not need to shame the body for responding. You can remind it that this moment is not that future moment. This room is here. The surface beneath you is here. The air is entering and leaving. Nothing else needs to be decided in this exact breath. The future can remain outside the work of this breath. You have spent enough of today living ahead of yourself. You imagined outcomes. You prepared responses. You tried to prevent pain. You considered what could go wrong. Some preparation was useful. Some of it was fear wearing the clothes of responsibility. Fear often says that if you think long enough, you can remove uncertainty. But uncertainty is part of being alive. You cannot think your way into complete control. You cannot rehearse enough to guarantee that no one will be disappointed. You cannot predict every turn. You cannot protect everyone from every consequence. That truth may feel frightening. It can also become a release. You were never responsible for controlling the whole sea of life. You were only responsible for the next honest step available to you. Some steps were yours. Some were not. Some people needed to make their own choices. Some situations needed time. Some answers could not be reached by force. You may have blamed yourself for outcomes that were shaped by many things. You may have believed that a better version of you could have prevented every difficulty. That belief places impossible power in your hands. You are influential in your life. You are not all-powerful. You can be thoughtful and still be misunderstood. You can prepare and still be surprised. You can love well and still experience loss. You can make wise choices and still meet pain. Life is not always a reflection of how well you performed. Some things happen because people are complicated. Some happen because timing shifts. Some happen because bodies become weary. Some happen because no one can see the full path ahead. You can stop using every difficulty as evidence that you failed. You can let complexity be complex. You can let yourself be one human being inside it. That may be one of the kindest truths you received tonight. You are one person, one heart, one body, one life, moving through one day at a time. You were not meant to carry everyone's future. You were not meant to understand every motive. You were not meant to remain available to every demand. You were not meant to solve every problem before closing your eyes. Your limits are not defects in the design. They are part of what keeps you connected to your own life. Without limits, care becomes endless giving. Without limits, love becomes fear. Without limits, responsibility becomes self-erasure. Without limits, strength becomes a role you cannot escape. You can begin to honor your limits without making a dramatic declaration. You can do it quietly. You can answer later. You can say no once. You can leave one task for another day. You can ask for help before resentment appears. You can speak before the pressure becomes anger. You can choose the smaller responsibility when the larger one is not truly yours. You can stop explaining every boundary as though it were an offense. None of this must happen tonight. The night is not asking you to redesign your whole life. It is only giving you a place to stop carrying it for a few hours. You do not need to solve your patterns before you are worthy of peace. You do not need to become perfectly balanced before your body can recover. You do not need to understand every source of strain. You can begin with the truth that you have been carrying more than you admit. The truth does not condemn you. It makes care possible. When you say you are worn down, you are not surrendering. You are naming the condition of the moment. When you say you need support, you are not becoming dependent. You are recognizing that human life was never meant to be lived without connection. When you say you cannot do one more thing, you are not losing your value. You are protecting the part of you that must continue tomorrow. The day may have taught you to measure yourself by what remained after you were finished. How much patience remained? how much kindness remained, how much energy remained, how much you could still give. A kinder measure would ask what you gave before reaching the end. It would ask how many times you adapted, how many feelings you held, how many decisions you made, how often you began again, how much uncertainty you carried while trying to appear steady. That measure does not need to become a tally. It only needs to remind you that exhaustion has a history. It did not appear from nowhere. It grew through moments, through small demands, through repeated postponement, through the habit of saying yes before checking what you had left, through nights when your body wanted stillness and your mind continued working, through mornings when you rose before you felt restored, through days when you offered more because no one else seemed able to. You are not defective because those moments accumulated. Anything carried long enough becomes heavy, even love, even responsibility, even hope. The weight does not make those things bad. It means the one carrying them needs somewhere to set them down. You are reaching that place now. You do not need to push the weight away. You can let it leave your hands gradually. One concern can remain outside your attention. One person's reaction can belong to them. One unfinished task can stay unfinished. One mistake can stop being examined. One future possibility can return to the future. You do not have to empty yourself completely. You only need less weight than you carried into this room, less judgment, less urgency, less responsibility for everything beyond your reach. The change may be small. Small changes matter when you have been carrying too much. A slower breath matters. A lowered shoulder matters. An unclenched hand matters. A thought that is not followed matters. A moment when you choose not to criticize yourself matters. This is how the body begins to trust that the day is truly over, not through commands, not through pressure, through evidence. The evidence that no one is asking you to perform. The evidence that the room remains quiet when you stop planning. The evidence that life continues even while you lie still. The evidence that you can close your eyes and nothing inside you disappears. The evidence that your worth remains. You may not feel peaceful yet. Peace is not required. A little less burden is enough. A little less guarding. A little less reaching toward what cannot be fixed tonight. You have carried the day to its boundary. You do not have to carry it into the night. Something useful begins when effort ends. The body does not become inactive because you close your eyes. It turns toward work that cannot be completed while you remain busy with the world. Breathing settles into another rhythm. The heart continues its steady labor without requiring your direction. Muscles that carried you through the day receive less demand. the mind begins sorting what felt tangled while you were living through it. None of this needs to be forced. You do not have to supervise the return of strength. You do not have to remain awake to make certain recovery is happening correctly. There are processes within you that know what to do without being watched. This may be difficult to trust if you have spent much of your life believing that improvement only comes through effort. You may be used to pushing. You may believe that anything valuable must be earned through concentration, discipline, or strain. You may feel safer when you are actively doing something. Lying still can seem unproductive because the work taking place is quiet, yet quiet work is still work. While you are no longer responding to messages, organizing plans, or preparing answers, the body uses the pause. It turns its attention inward. It supports the ordinary renewal that living requires. Tissues carry out their maintenance. Energy is directed differently. The brain begins arranging pieces of the day that felt crowded together. Some memories are strengthened. Some details lose their urgency. Some emotional edges may become less sharp. Not every difficulty disappears by morning. That is not the promise. The promise is smaller, kinder, and more honest. You do not have to meet tomorrow with exactly the same amount of strain you are carrying now. Even a few hours of true quiet can change the way a problem is held. The problem may still exist. The conversation may still need to happen. The decision may still wait. The sorrow may still be real. But you may not be standing beneath it with the same weariness. A mind that has paused can see space where a depleted mind saw only pressure. A body that has been supported may move through the next day with a little more steadiness. An emotion that felt endless at midnight may become more bearable after the nervous system has had time away from demands. This is not magic. It is not denial. It is the ordinary wisdom of not asking yourself to solve life at the end of your strength. You have probably experienced this before. A concern once felt enormous in the late hours. You turned it over again and again. Every possible outcome seemed heavy. Every mistake looked permanent. Every uncertainty appeared dangerous. Then another day arrived. The facts had not all changed, but something in you had. You could separate one concern from another. You could see which part required action and which part was fear. You could recognize that one difficult moment was not the whole story. You could choose a next step instead of trying to control the entire path. That change did not mean your earlier feelings were foolish. It meant weariness had been speaking alongside them. Exhaustion can make the mind narrow its view. It can make one thought occupy the whole inner room. It can make a delay feel like rejection. It can make a mistake feel like identity. It can make uncertainty feel like danger. It can make the future appear already decided. You do not need to argue with those impressions now. They may loosen when you stop feeding them with more strain. You are not required to correct every thought before closing your eyes. Some thoughts become less convincing when they are no longer surrounded by fatigue. Some fears lose intensity when the body is no longer braced. Some conclusions become more balanced after time has passed without another demand. The mind can do part of this work quietly. It can file away what does not need immediate attention. It can connect experiences without your conscious instruction. It can reduce the sharpness of details that seemed impossible to stop replaying. You may not wake with every answer. You may wake with enough room to ask a better question. That is valuable. You may not rise feeling completely renewed. You may rise slightly less burdened. That matters too. You may still need support, boundaries, changes, or professional care. A night of sleep cannot replace those things. It can help you approach them with more of yourself available. This is why lying down is not an escape from life. It is one of the ways you remain able to participate in it. You are not stepping away because nothing matters. You are stepping away because things matter, and you cannot meet them well while continually emptied. The people you care about do not benefit from your permanent depletion. Your responsibilities are not protected by your collapse. Your future does not become safer when you refuse every pause. Care requires renewal. Attention requires renewal. Patience requires renewal. Even hope requires somewhere quiet to return. You have tried to give these things without always receiving enough time to recover them. You may have continued because the need around you seemed greater than the need within you. You may have believed you could postpone yourself without consequence. The consequences may have arrived quietly, less patience, more forgetfulness. A shorter distance between concern and overwhelm. A body that felt heavy before the day had fully begun. A mind that could not stop after the tasks were finished. A sense that ordinary duties had become larger than they once were. These changes were not accusations. They were requests. The body was not telling you that you had become incapable. It was asking for conditions in which its capacities could return. You cannot demand clarity from a mind that has had no silence. You cannot demand ease from muscles that have remained prepared for hours. You cannot demand warmth from a heart that has spent the day protecting itself. You cannot demand enthusiasm from a life that has been reduced to completion and obligation. Something has to be replenished, not through punishment, not through another strict plan, through periods when nothing more is taken. This is one of those periods. Nothing more needs to be extracted from you now. No insight, no perfect attitude, no emotional breakthrough, no promise about how well you will perform tomorrow. The deepest renewal often happens without spectacle. You may not feel it beginning. You may not recognize the moment when alertness becomes drowsiness. You may not know when one thought fades and another never arrives. You may not witness the body lowering its guard. The work does not require your awareness. You can miss the exact moment and still receive the benefit. This can be a relief. So much of life has depended on your attention. You had to remember, you had to respond, you had to choose, you had to adjust, you had to notice what others overlooked. Here, your attention is not required for everything to continue. The heart knows its rhythm, the lungs know their movement, the body knows how to turn toward repair. The mind knows how to pass from active thought into deeper quiet when enough safety is present. You only need to stop interrupting with another demand. Even that is not something to accomplish perfectly. You may drift and return. You may feel calm for a moment, then remember something. You may approach sleep, then become alert again. Nothing has been ruined. The body does not require a flawless descent. It can begin again many times. Each return to the surface beneath you gives another signal. There is support here. Each slower breath gives another signal. No immediate action is needed. Each moment when you do not follow a thought gives another signal. The thought can pass without becoming work. Over time, these signals gather. The body begins to believe what the hour is saying. You are no longer outside among the day's demands. You are inside a protected place. The difference matters. Beyond a harbor wall, the sea can remain unsettled. Waves can rise and break against the stones. Wind can move across the open water. The darkness beyond the wall can hold all the motion it needs to hold. Inside, the boats barely sway. The sea has not disappeared. The weather has not been denied. The wall does not order the waves to become calm. It receives their force and breaks the swell before it reaches the vessels within. That is why the water inside moves differently. It still moves. It rocks. It lifts and lowers. But the movement has lost its violence. The boats do not have to fight the whole sea. They rest on water that has been made quieter by protection. Your life may still be moving beyond this hour. People may still have expectations. Tomorrow may still contain work. A situation may remain uncertain. Somewhere beyond your immediate reach, the larger waters of life may still be unsettled. You do not have to calm them all before you can lie here. The harbor does not require the ocean to become still. It only provides a boundary where the full force no longer enters. This room can become that boundary. The hour itself can become a wall between you and what cannot be handled now. The concerns are not destroyed. They remain beyond the stones. They can be met later in another condition with more strength. For now, they do not need to strike directly against you. The wall receives what you do not have to receive. A message can wait beyond it. A difficult conversation can remain beyond it. A decision can remain beyond it. Someone else's disappointment can remain beyond it. The memory of what went wrong can remain beyond it. The fear of what might happen can remain beyond it. They are not being thrown away. They are being kept outside the protected water for a few hours. You are one of the boats within. You have returned carrying the marks of the day. Perhaps you feel worn by the distance you traveled. Perhaps you feel as though you moved constantly and still did not arrive where you hoped. Perhaps you carried more than was comfortable. Perhaps you were pulled by forces you could not control. Now the ropes are tied. There is no need to keep moving forward. There is no need to prove that you could have gone farther. The wall stands between you and the stronger. Listen, swell. Inside it, the movement becomes slow enough to support sleep. The boat does not accuse itself for swaying. It does not believe that movement means danger. It rises a little. It lowers again. It responds to the water without being carried away by it. Your thoughts may do the same. One may rise, one may lower. A memory may touch your awareness, then move away. A concern may lift, then settle. You do not need complete stillness. You only need the movement to become small enough that you no longer have to steer. The wall does not stop every ripple. Protection does not mean the absence of all feeling. You may still feel sadness. You may still sense the day within your body. You may still hear the mind naming unfinished things. The goal is not emptiness, it is shelter. It is the difference between being struck by the full force and being rocked by what remains after the force has broken. You have experienced enough direct impact for one day. Words reached you. Needs reached you. Noise reached you. Expectations reached you. Your own judgments reached you. Some came one after another without space between them. No wonder the inner water remained unsettled. No wonder the body continued moving after you lay down. It had not yet found the wall. Let the boundary form now. The wall can be the decision that no more problems will be solved before morning. It can be the closed door. It can be the dim room. It can be the phone placed beyond your hand. It can be the breath that does not rush toward the next task. It can be the words you choose not to say to yourself. It can be the refusal to reopen the whole day. Stone by stone, the protected place becomes real. You do not need to construct it through effort. It already begins wherever you stop giving the outside world direct access to your attention. Every unfinished matter does not deserve entrance. Every imagined outcome does not deserve entrance. Every opinion does not deserve entrance. Every memory does not deserve entrance. You can let them meet the wall. They may strike it with noise. They may insist that they are urgent. They may send a little spray over the top. Still, most of their force can remain outside. The boats within do not rush to defend the wall. They trust the wall to do its work. You have defended yourself enough today. You have explained. You have anticipated. You have held your position. You have tried to keep everything from becoming worse. For these hours, you can let protection exist without your constant participation. The boundary does not need to be argued. Morning can find the concerns where they were left. Nothing important will be lost because it was not carried into your dreams. A true responsibility can survive a few hours without being repeated in your mind. A real problem does not require continuous worry to remain real. Love does not weep. Love can, because you stop thinking about someone for a while. Care does not vanish when awareness fades. You are still connected to your life while sleeping. You are only no longer standing in its roughest water. Inside the wall, the boats barely sway. Let that image remain simple. Dark water, steady stone, the open sea beyond, quiet movement within. No struggle, no demand that the weather change. Only a place where its force cannot reach you in the same way. The wall has been shaped to receive impact. It does not resent the waves. It does not become frightened by their sound. It stands because standing is its work. You do not have to be the wall. That may be the most important part. You have spent too many hours trying to absorb the force for everyone else. You have tried to break the swell before it reached the people you love. You have taken the difficult call. You have softened the harsh truth. You have carried tension so that others could remain comfortable. You have stood between conflict and the people affected by it. You may have become so used to being protection that you forgot what it felt like to be protected. Here, you are not the wall. You are inside it. You are not receiving the impact. You are not required to remain strong against every wave. You are the boat that has come home. You are supported by quieter water. You are permitted to sway without steering. You are permitted to be carried by a movement too small to threaten you. There may be relief in giving up the role of protector for a few hours. There may also be discomfort. You may wonder who will stand watch if you do not. You may feel exposed when you stop preparing. You may expect the next wave to reach you directly. The old readiness can take time to believe in shelter. You do not have to convince it all at once. Let it test the water. Let it discover that one thought can pass without consequence. Let it discover that one unanswered message remains safely unanswered. Let it discover that the world does not break because you stop monitoring it. Let it discover that support can be quiet. The boat does not need to understand the engineering of the wall. It only needs to experience the smaller movement. Your body does not need a complete explanation either. It learns through experience. The mattress remains beneath you. The room does not ask anything. The breath continues. A few minutes pass without a new demand. Then a few more. This is how safety becomes believable, not as an idea, as repeated evidence. You may feel one part of the body lowering. You may sense the face becoming less arranged. You may realize that the hands are no longer preparing to act. You may lose the thread of a thought. These are small movements inside the harbor. Nothing dramatic needs to happen. The open sea can keep its distance. It may still be heard. A concert may still make itself known, but it reaches you after its force has changed. Instead of a command, it becomes a sound beyond the wall. Instead of an emergency, it becomes something that can wait. Instead of a judgment, it becomes a thought passing across dark water. You are not required to follow it. You are not required to leave the harbor because the sea is moving. The harbor was made for nights like this. It was made for weather. It was made because calm cannot always be found by asking the whole ocean to change. Sometimes calm comes from entering the place where the force is reduced. You have entered that place, not perfectly, not completely, enough to begin. The day may still echo. Let the wall receive the echo. Tomorrow may still call. Let the wall keep its voice at a distance. The mind may still send out small signals of concern. Let them travel across the quieter water without becoming directions. You do not need to sail anywhere now. You have arrived. The ropes are secure. The water beneath you knows how to carry your weight. You do not have to make yourself lighter. You do not have to unload every feeling before being supported. The boat can return full. It can carry the day's marks. It can carry what has not yet been understood. The harbor does not reject it for arriving weary. It does not ask what happened beyond the wall before offering protection. It receives what comes home. You are being received in the same way. No explanation first. No improvement first. No proof first. You can enter with all that remains unresolved. The wall is not a reward for perfect navigation. It exists because the sea is sometimes rough. This quiet is not a reward for managing the day well. It exists because you are human and the day had force. Let the force stay beyond the stones. Let the water inside rock you in smaller movements. Let the body continue its hidden work. Let the mind sort what you no longer need to hold consciously. Let strength return without being summoned. There is nothing more you need to produce. The most helpful thing you can do now is stop interfering with the care already beginning within you. You do not have to become repaired in one night. You do not have to wake as someone new. You only need these hours to take less from you than the day did. You only need to remain within the wall. Beyond it, the sea can storm. Inside it, the boats barely sway. The wall does not ask the sea to explain itself. It does not question why the waves are high. It does not demand that the wind become reasonable. It does not waste strength arguing with weather. It receives what comes and keeps the inner water from carrying the full force. There is wisdom in that. You have spent many hours trying to understand every difficult thing before letting yourself step away from it. You have searched for reasons. You have replayed words. You have wondered what you should have seen earlier. You have tried to decide whether someone meant to hurt you. You have looked for the exact point where a situation changed. You have attempted to explain another person's choices so that your own feelings would become easier to bear. Understanding can be useful. It can also become another way of remaining outside the harbor. You do not need complete understanding before you are protected. The wall does not wait for the storm to make sense. It does not need the waves to apologize. It does not require the wind to admit that it has asked too much. Protection begins before explanation. You can let that be true for you. You can stop asking the day to justify why it left you weary. You can stop demanding a perfect conclusion from every conversation. You can stop waiting for another person to recognize the weight you carried. Their recognition may matter. It may be needed later. It may help repair something real. But your body does not have to remain exposed until that recognition arrives. You can come inside now. You can be protected while questions remain. You can be supported while another person still misunderstands you. You can become quiet before the situation becomes fair. The harbor does not promise fairness beyond the wall. It promises reduced force within it. That promise is enough for this hour. You may still remember what was said. The words may return with their original tone. You may hear the pause that followed. You may remember the look on someone's face. You may think of what you wanted to say and did not say. Let the memory remain beyond the stones. You do not have to throw it away. You do not have to change it. You only have to stop standing where it can strike you with the same force again. A memory is not the event happening once more. It can feel close. It can move the body. It can bring back anger, fear, or sadness. Still, you are here now. The event is no longer unfolding. The wave has already broken. What reaches you now is the movement that remains. You can let that movement grow smaller. A thought rises. The water lifts. A breath leaves. The water lowers. Nothing must be steered. Nothing must be corrected. The boats are tied. They do not drift toward the open sea each time the water moves. They remain within the boundary. Your attention can remain here in the same way. A thought may pull for a moment. You do not have to follow it beyond the wall. You can return to the surface beneath your body. You can return to the quiet around you. You can return to the truth that this hour has no new demand. The wall stands even when you forget it is there. You may become caught in a thought and remember several minutes later that you meant to stop thinking. Nothing has failed. The harbor has not closed. You are still inside. You can return without criticism. You can let the water carry you back. The mind may test the boundary many times. It may bring tomorrow closer. It may bring yesterday closer. It may bring another person's face close. It may bring unfinished work close. Each time, you can let the wall do what it was made to do. You do not have to push the thought away. Pushing can become another struggle with the sea. Let the thought move toward the stones. Let its force break there. Let only the smaller movement reach you. This can become a quiet practice, not a strict practice, not another standard you must meet, only a different relationship with what arises. The concern can exist without becoming the whole water. The memory can exist without carrying you beyond safety. The uncertainty can exist without requiring your immediate action. The sadness can exist without proving that nothing will improve. You can remain inside while life remains unfinished. This may be new. You may have believed that safety came only after every problem was solved. You may have told yourself that you could relax after the answer arrived, after the work was completed, after the person changed, after the money came, after the appointment, after the apology, after the uncertainty ended. Then one matter was replaced by another. The open sea never became completely still. There was always another movement beyond the wall. If you wait for the whole ocean to calm before receiving care, you may wait through years that were meant to contain moments of peace. The harbor offers another way. The sea can move. You can remain protected. Life can remain incomplete. You can still close your eyes. A question can remain open. You can still be supported. Tomorrow can carry responsibilities. You can still stop tonight. The wall does not deny reality. It changes how much of reality reaches you at once. You were never meant to receive every force at full strength. You were never meant to take each possibility directly into your body. You were never meant to hold every concern in active awareness through the night. The mind may insist that constant thought is a form of protection. It may say that thinking keeps you prepared. Sometimes it does, but there comes a point when thought no longer prepares. It only repeats impact. It brings the wave back after the wave has already passed. It keeps the inner water rough when the outer force is no longer present. You can recognize that point without becoming angry at yourself. The mind was trying to help. It confused repetition with readiness. It confused worry with care. It confused sleeplessness with responsibility. You can thank it and lead it inward, not toward emptiness, toward shelter. You can say that the matter is real. You can say that it deserves attention. You can also say that attention offered from depletion will not be your best attention. Mourning can receive the matter from a steadier place. That is not a promise that mourning will solve everything. It is a promise that this worn version of you does not have to carry the whole matter through the night. There will be another meeting between you and the day, another chance to see, another chance to choose, another chance to ask for help, another chance to speak, another chance to decide that something no longer belongs to you. You do not need to make those choices now. Behind the wall, morning finds me steadier. Let the words arrive without pressure. You do not have to believe them completely. You do not have to feel steady now. The sentence does not claim that the sea will be calm. It does not claim that every problem will be gone. It only reminds you that protection can change how you meet what remains. Behind the wall, morning finds me steadier. The steadiness may be small. It may be one clearer thought. It may be one less frightened conclusion. It may be the ability to rise without immediately replaying the day. It may be the willingness to ask someone for support. It may be the strength to postpone a decision until you have more information. It may be a kinder voice inside you. It may be enough energy to take one honest step. Small steadiness is still steadiness. You do not need to wake transformed. You do not need to become fearless. You do not need to feel cheerful. You only need to stop spending strength that the coming day may need. Behind the wall, morning finds me steadier. Let that be the promise you do not have to work for. The wall does the breaking. The water does the rocking. The boat does the receiving. You do not have to create the morning from this hour. You do not have to force improvement. You do not have to manufacture hope. You only remain inside long enough for the full force to stop reaching you. The body knows what to do with reduced demand. The mind knows how to loosen when it is no longer commanded to solve. Strength can gather in quiet places. Clarity can return when you stop chasing it. Perspective can widen when pressure is not crowding every thought. None of this needs to happen dramatically. You may wake and still feel weary. You may wake and remember the concern immediately. You may wake with the same responsibilities waiting. That does not mean the night gave you nothing. Repair is not always felt as a sudden change. Sometimes it is the reason you can continue at all. Sometimes it is hidden beneath the ordinary act of getting up. Sometimes it appears as restraint. You do not send the message written in anger. You do not believe the first fearful thought. You pause before agreeing to another demand. You remember that you have choices. You realize that something can wait. These may be the quiet signs that the inner water became calmer. Do not demand evidence now. You have demanded enough from yourself. Let the night give what it can give without being measured. Let the wall stand without being tested. Let the water move without being judged. Let the boat be supported without proving how much it traveled. You may feel a part of yourself resisting. It may say that letting down your guard is dangerous. It may remind you that something unexpected could happen. It may insist that you should stay alert until you feel certain. Meet that resistance with kindness. It has guarded you through real moments. It may have learned that peace could be interrupted. It may have learned that needs arrive without warning. It may have learned that other people do not always keep watch. You do not need to tell this part that it is wrong. You can offer it a smaller choice. You do not have to trust the whole night. You can trust this breath. You do not have to release every concern. You can release one. You do not have to stop listening completely. You can listen less closely. You do not have to feel entirely safe. You can be willing to receive a little shelter. A smaller willingness is enough. You can say, I am willing to remain inside the wall for one more breath, then another. No large promise. No demand that fear disappear. Only one breath in protected water. The body may accept what the mind cannot yet believe. It may recognize the stillness of the room. It may recognize the weight beneath you. It may recognize that the hands are empty. It may recognize that no one is asking you to answer. These facts matter. Safety is often learned through ordinary facts repeated without interruption. Nothing is being placed in your hands. Nothing is being required from your voice. Nothing is being decided by your face. Nothing is being measured by your performance. You can be here without providing anything. Let that truth move through you slowly. You have been useful for so long that being unneeded may feel strange. You may not know what to do with yourself when there is no task. You may begin creating tasks inside your mind. Reviewing, planning, remembering, preparing. The mind may prefer work because work feels familiar. You can give it something smaller. Let it return to the wall, stone resting against stone. The outer water rising, the swell meeting the boundary, the force breaking, the inner water moving only enough to rock the boats. No additional scenery is needed. No journey is required. Only the same protected place becoming more believable. The wall is solid because it does not move with every wave. Your boundary can be simple in the same way. Not now. These two words can become stone. Not now to the message. Not now to the decision. Not now to the argument you are rehearsing. Not now to the fear that wants the whole future settled. Not now does not mean never. It means the matter will not enter this protected hour. You can return to it when the inner water is steadier. You can return with daylight. You can return after food, after a breath, after support, after the body has received more than it has received today. Some matters become smaller when approached in better conditions. Some remain difficult, but you become less alone with them. Some reveal that they were never entirely yours. Some show you the next step only after you stop demanding the whole path. You cannot know which kind this will be tonight. You do not need to know. The harbor does not predict tomorrow's sea. It only protects what has entered now. You have entered. That is enough. You may carry marks from the open water. You may feel where the day struck. You may feel shaken by a wave that no one else saw. You may still be hearing the sound of it. There is no shame in arriving affected. A boat does not return from rough water looking untouched. It may carry salt. It may carry wear. It may carry lines pulled tight by the journey. It is still worthy of the harbor. You are worthy of protection before you have recovered from what happened. You are worthy while you still feel confused. You are worthy while you still feel angry. You are worthy while you wish you had done something differently. You are worthy while your thoughts remain active. Shelter is not reserved for the calm. It is made for what has been through weather. You do not have to hide the weather from yourself. You can admit that today reached you. You can admit that you do not have more to give. You can admit that one part of you wants comfort more than advice. There are moments when advice is another demand. It asks you to improve. It asks you to act. It asks you to become someone who can handle the situation better. Comfort asks less. It says you do not have to handle it now. It says the impact was real. It says you can lie still without becoming irresponsible. It says someone does not need to fix you before staying near. Let these hours offer that kind of nearness. Nothing needs to be explained. Nothing needs to be taught. You do not need another lesson from what hurt. You do not need to turn every difficulty into growth before you receive care. You can be comforted because you were affected. That is reason enough. Inside the wall, no boat has to explain the storm it crossed. The worn surface is understood. The lowered lines are understood. The quiet after motion is understood. The harbor receives without questioning. You may have longed for that kind of receiving from another person. You may have wanted someone to see your face and know that words would be too much. You may have wanted someone to take the next task from your hands. You may have wanted to hear that nothing more was expected. That longing can be met here in a small way. Nothing more is expected from you in this hour. You do not need to make the script work. You do not need to follow every word. You do not need to remain awake to hear the end. You can lose the thread. You can drift. You can miss whole passages. You can let the voice become another small movement on the inner water. Should you wake later, the harbor remains. Should your mind become active again, the wall remains. Should a concern return, it does not mean protection has failed. Waves can continue beyond a strong wall. Thoughts can continue beyond a clear boundary. The presence of noise does not mean you must leave shelter. You can hear the wave and remain inside. You can feel the water move and remain supported. You can remember the problem and remain still. This is the difference you are learning. The old way said that every concern required movement. The new way says that some concerns can be met by staying where you are. The old way said alertness was proof of care. The new way says care can include preserving your strength. The old way said you must understand before you stop. The new way says you can stop before understanding. The old way said tomorrow's difficulty should be carried in advance. The new way lets tomorrow carry its own weight. No change has to become permanent tonight. You are not making a vow about how you will live forever. You are choosing shelter for these hours. That is enough. This one night does not need to repair every exhausted season. It does not need to repay every hour you pushed beyond yourself. It does not need to erase all the times you were unsupported. It only needs to become different from the day. The day required response. The night can offer receiving. The day required movement. The night can offer smaller water. The day required you to face what came. The night can place stone between you and its force. There is no weakness in needing that difference. There is intelligence in cycles, activity and quiet, giving and receiving, facing and withdrawing, moving outward and returning inward. You have lived too long in one direction, always outward, toward need, toward duty, toward resolution, toward what others were feeling. Now the movement turns back, not away from love, back toward the person through whom your love must live. You matter within your own care. You are not only the source from which others receive, you are also someone who requires protection, someone who needs the inner water to become calm enough to be carried, someone who cannot remain on the open sea without return. Let yourself be that someone. You do not need to be noble about exhaustion. You do not need to turn it into proof of devotion. You do not need to keep carrying because carrying has become part of your identity. The wall does not admire the boat for remaining outside in dangerous water. It exists so the boat can come home. Come inward without apology. Leave the swell where it breaks. Let the waves spend their force against what is stronger than your exhausted body. You do not have to absorb everything. You do not have to be the point where every pressure ends. For now, the wall is there. The concern meets stone. The expectation meets stone. The remembered voice meets stone. The imagined future meets stone. What enters becomes smaller, a lift, a lowering, a slow, quiet sway. Your breathing may begin to follow that movement, not because you force it, because the body recognizes a rhythm that asks nothing. In. The water rises. Out. The water lowers. No counting is needed, no perfect depth. Some breaths may be short, some longer. All are carried. The boat does not create the water beneath it. It receives support from what is already there. You do not have to create support through the correct thought. You can receive what the bed already offers. You can receive what the darkness already offers. You can receive what this pause already offers. Your weight can be fully given to the surface beneath you. There is no need to remain slightly lifted, slightly ready, slightly prepared to move. The inner water is quiet enough. The ropes are secure. The wall continues its work. Should the world beyond you remain unsettled, it can remain unsettled without using your body as its resting place. You have stored enough of the world inside you. Other people's tones, other people's needs, other people's urgency, other people's disappointment, your own fear of letting them down. Let the wall separate what belongs beyond from what belongs within. Within is your breath, your body, your immediate need for quiet. Beyond is everything that cannot be changed before morning. The separation does not need to be perfect. A little spray may cross, a thought may enter, a feeling may rise. You are not back on the open sea because of one wave. You are still inside. Remember the smaller willingness. I am willing to remain inside the wall for one more breath. You can use it when the stronger promise feels too far away. You can use it when fear does not want to release. You can use it when the mind insists on continuing. One more breath, that is all. Then perhaps another arrives without being requested. With enough breaths, the hour changes on its own. You do not have to push it forward. Morning knows how to come. It does not need you to stay awake and guide it. It has reached you through every other night. It has entered through curtains, through windows, through rooms where you believed the darkness would never end. You did not create its arrival. You re-carried toward it. You will be carried again. Behind the wall, morning finds me steadier. Let the line become quieter now. It does not need to be spoken with confidence. It can be almost unfinished. Behind the wall, morning finds me steadier. Even if steadiness means only that you have stopped fighting yourself, even if it means you meet the first thought without believing it, even if it means you move slowly, even if it means you ask for another hour, even if it means you say, I need help, that can be steadiness too. Steadiness is not hardness. It is not hiding your feelings. It is not carrying everything without movement. A boat in protected water still sways. Its steadiness is not the absence of motion. It is the presence of support. You can move emotionally and still be supported. You can wake with sadness and still be steadier. You can carry uncertainty and still be steadier. You can need care and still be steadier. You do not have to become stone. The wall is stone. You are the one protected by it. You can remain responsive, tender, human. You can rise and lower with the small water. You can be affected without being overtaken. You can feel without being carried beyond the boundary. That is enough for morning. For now, morning remains outside. There are hours between you and its first light. They do not need to be filled. They can pass around you. They can pass while your mind loses its grip on the day. They can pass while the body performs its quiet maintenance. They can pass while the inner water becomes smoother. You may choose to continue with the Nights of Rest playlist after this voice fades, letting one protected hour follow another without needing to search for anything else. There is no urgency in that invitation. You do not need to make a choice now. You can remain with the movement already beneath you. The water rises. The water lowers. The wall stands. The sea remains beyond. Inside, you barely sway. Behind the wall, morning finds you steadier. The protected water asks nothing from the boat. It does not ask where the boat has been. It does not ask how well it handled the journey. It does not ask whether every rope was pulled at the right moment. It does not ask whether fear appeared. It does not ask whether the boat remained graceful when the waves rose. It supports the weight that has arrived. You can receive that same support now. There is no need to hold yourself above the surface beneath you. There is no need to remain partly ready. There is no need to keep one part of the body on duty while the rest tries to settle. You have reached the place where readiness can lessen. Not all at once, not through command, one area at a time. Let the body be thanked before it is asked to release anything. It has carried you faithfully, even where it aches, even where it tightened, even where it sent signals you did not understand. The body was not trying to make the day harder. It was responding. It was protecting. It was enduring. It was helping you move through more than you sometimes admitted. Begin with the forehead. It held concentration. It tightened while you tried to understand. It lifted when you were surprised. It gathered when you were concerned. Thank the forehead for every hour it helped you focus. On the next exhale, let the forehead become smooth and unguarded. The small muscles around the eyes have worked long enough. They searched screens. They read faces. They watched for changes. They stayed open when they wanted darkness. Thank the eyes for taking in the day. On the exhale, let the space around the eyes become loose and quiet. The eyelids do not need to remain lifted. They do not need to check the room. They do not need to look ahead. Thank the eyelids for closing between you and the outer world. On the exhale, let them become heavy without effort. The temples may still carry the pressure of thought. They may remember every decision, every question, every attempt to understand what could not yet be understood. Thank the temples for holding so much activity. On the exhale, let the pressure spread outward and fade. The cheeks may have worn expressions for other people. They may have lifted into smiles. They may have stayed composed. They may have hidden what was happening beneath them. Thank the cheeks for helping you move through those moments. On the exhale, let the face lose every expression it no longer needs. The jaw has held many unsaid words. It has tightened around patience. It has remained firm through frustration. It has helped you stay quiet when speaking would have made the moment harder. Thank the jaw for its restraint. On the exhale, let the teeth separate and the jaw hang free. The tongue has shaped answers. It has explained. It has reassured. It has searched for the kindest sentence. It may still be resting against the roof of the mouth as though another response is coming. Thank the tongue for every word it carried. On the exhale, let it settle low and still. The lips have spoken when you were ready and when you were not. They have offered care. They have held silence. They have smiled through strain. Thank the lips for all they expressed and all they withheld. On the exhale, let them remain slightly parted and free. The throat may hold words that were never given space. It may hold tears that had to wait. It may hold the strain of sounding calm. Thank the throat for carrying your voice. On the exhale, let the throat become open and at ease. Ik time much fun face. The back of the neck has supported the head through every conversation and task. It has stayed firm while you looked forward. It may have tightened when pressure rose. Thank the neck for its steady work. On the exhale, let the back of the neck lengthen into support. The sides of the neck do not need to remain alert. They do not need to prepare you to turn toward another sound. Thank them for helping you respond. On the exhale, let both sides of the neck become free. Your shoulders have carried what others could see and what they could not. They carried bags, work, posture, strain, and the invisible feeling that much depended on you. Thank the shoulders for staying with you through every hour. On the exhale, let the right shoulder drop toward the protected water. On another exhale, let the left shoulder follow. The upper back has been a broad place of effort. It helped you sit upright. It helped you keep moving. It may have braced whenever you felt pressure from outside. Thank the upper back for giving you strength. On the exhale, let the upper back spread wide against what supports it. The area between the shoulder blades may still hold the day tightly. It may feel as though something remains there that has not yet been set down. Thank that area for carrying what your hands could not hold. On the exhale, let the space between the shoulder blades widen and release. The right arm has reached for many things. It has lifted, carried, typed, cleaned, prepared, helped. Thank the right arm for every useful movement. On the exhale, let the right arm become fully heavy. The left arm has done its own quiet work. It has held, steadied, moved, and supported. Thank the left arm for staying beside you through the day. On the exhale, let the left arm give all its weight away. The elbows have bent thousands of times without asking for recognition. They helped bring the world closer. They helped push things away. Thank the elbows for their patient movement. On the exhale, let the elbows become loose. The forearms carried tension into the hands. They worked even when the rest of you wanted to stop. Thank the forearms for their strength. On the exhale, let the muscles along them grow quiet. The wrists have remained flexible through constant use. They have turned, lifted, reached, and adjusted. Thank the wrists for their small, faithful work. On the exhale, let the wrists become free from effort. The hands have served nearly every part of your life. They have prepared food. They have touched faces. They have opened doors. They have written, cleaned, lifted, offered, and received. They may still feel as though something should be placed in them. Thank the hands for everything they completed. On the exhale, let both palms open. The fingers have worked separately and together. They have pressed keys, held cups, sent messages, fastened, carried, pointed, and comforted. Thank each finger without needing to name them. On the exhale, let every finger uncurl. The chest has protected the heart through all kinds of feeling. It has tightened during fear. It has lifted through effort. It has held emotion when there was no time to express it. Thank the chest for making room for every breath. On the exhale, let the chest sink back into support. The heart has continued through joy, strain, disappointment, and uncertainty. It did not stop because the day became difficult. It kept its steady work while you attended to everything else. Thank the heart for its quiet devotion to life. On the exhale, let the area around the heart become spacious. The ribs have opened and closed all day. They made room for breath even when breathing became shallow. Thank the ribs for protecting what matters within you. On the exhale, let them move without restriction. The upper belly may still hold concern. It may have tightened around words. It may have reacted before the mind understood why. Thank the upper belly for speaking in its own language. On the exhale, let the upper belly soften toward the surface beneath you. The lower belly has supported balance, movement, and the deep center of your body. It may have remained firm during moments when you needed to keep yourself together. Thank the lower belly for its strength. On the exhale, let it become unguarded. The sides of the waist have helped you bend, turn, and reach. They may be holding small lines of effort. Thank both sides for their flexibility. On the exhale, let the waist become loose. The middle back has supported every seated hour. It has held you upright when concentration was fading. Thank the middle back for its endurance. On the exhale, let it settle more completely. The lower back has carried weight through standing, walking, sitting, and lifting. It may be asking for support more clearly now. Thank the lower back for all it has carried. On the exhale, let it widen and become heavy. The hips have been the center of so much movement. They helped you rise. They helped you sit. They supported every step. Thank the hips for carrying you through the day. On the exhale, let both hips sink down. The muscles across the seat have worked quietly beneath you. They have helped keep you balanced. Thank them for their strength. On the exhale, let them release their hold. A right thigh has carried you forward. It has lifted and steadied. It has worked through every step without needing your attention. Thank the right thigh. On the exhale, let it grow heavy. The left thigh has matched that work. It has supported your movement and your stillness. Thank the left thigh. On the exhale, let it become loose. The inner thighs may still be holding without your awareness. They may be keeping the legs slightly prepared. Thank them for their quiet protection. On the exhale, let the inner thighs release. The knees have bent beneath the weight of the day. They have carried you through stairs, rooms, roads, and ordinary movements. Thank the knees for their faithful service. On the exhale, let the right knee become free. On another exhale, let the left knee follow. The shins have helped you remain upright. They have supported every forward movement. Thank the shins for their endurance. On the exhale, let the front of both lower legs become still. The calves have worked with every step. They have tightened to move you and steadied you when you stopped. Thank the calves for carrying you onward. On the exhale, let the right calf release. On another exhale, let the left calf release. The ankles have adjusted to every surface. They have kept you balanced through changes you barely noticed. Thank the ankles for their constant care. On the exhale, let both ankles become loose. The heels have received your weight again and again. They have met the ground through every step. Thank the heels for their strength. On the exhale, let the heels sink deeply. The soles of the feet have carried your whole body. They have met floors, paths, steps, and long hours of standing. Thank the soles for bringing you here. On the exhale, let the entire underside of each foot become warm and still. The toes have helped you balance. They have pressed against the ground. They may still be slightly curled as though holding on. Thank the toes for every adjustment. On the exhale, let all 10 toes become free. The whole body has now been remembered, not as a problem, not as a machine, as a faithful companion. It carried your life through another day. It deserves to be laid down without criticism. Let the body remain within the harbor wall. Let the outer sea keep its distance. The strongest movement has already broken beyond you. Inside, only the smaller water remains. The head can be carried. The shoulders can be carried. The arms can be carried. The back can be carried. The chest can be carried. The belly can be carried. The hips can be carried. The legs can be carried. The feet can be carried. You do not have to lift any part of yourself. The surface beneath you receives the full weight. There is no need to become lighter. There is no need to become easier to support. The boat does not apologize for its weight. The water was made to carry it. You are supported now. A thought may still arrive. Let it rise like a small movement under the boat. It lifts. It passes. The body remains supported. Another thought may follow. It does not require a response. It moves. It fades. The wall remains. The sea may still be active beyond the stones. You do not need to hear every wave. You do not need to know what the weather will be by morning. You only need the protected water beneath you. Let the inner voice become shorter now. It has explained enough. It has carried you far enough. The words can become simple. They can fall one by one. They can land like small ripples. They do not need to convince you. They can remain near until thinking is no longer necessary. I am inside the wall. I am beyond the swell. See, I am supported here. I do not have to steer. I do not have to answer. I do not have to prepare. I do not have to prove. I leave the sea outside. I receive the quieter water. I give my weight away. I trust this surface. I loosen my face. I free my jaw. I lower my shoulders. I open my hands. I release my chest. I quiet my belly. I unguard my back. I loosen my hips. I free my legs. I release my feet. I am not on duty. I am not behind. I am not failing. I have done enough. I have carried enough. I can stop now. I can remain here. I can be supported. I can receive quiet. I can let thoughts pass. I can leave questions open. I can meet them later. I can trust the wall. I can trust the water. I can be carried. I can grow still. I can drift inward. I can become heavy. I can release more. I can be unguarded. I can receive this night. I belong in shelter. I am safe enough. I am quiet enough. I am willing. I remain inside. I release the day. I leave it outside. I receive support. I am carried. I am sheltered. I am unburdened. I am quiet. I am steady. I am here. I let go. I receive. I settle. I soften. I drift. I lower. I trust. I breathe. I stay. I release. I float. I am held. I am safe. I am quiet. I am carried. I am home. The words can become fewer. The water can become smaller. The body can sink more deeply. Nothing needs to be repeated perfectly. Nothing needs to be remembered. A phrase may remain for a moment, then it may lose its edges. I am carried. The right side grows heavier. The left side follows. I am carried. The forehead remains smooth. The jaw remains free. I am carried. The shoulders no longer reach upward. The hands no longer wait to serve. I am carried. The belly no longer braces for news. The back no longer prepares for pressure. I am carried. The legs do not need another step. The feet have reached their place. I am carried. The wall stands. The swell breaks beyond it. The water within barely moves. I am carried. You do not have to hold the image clearly. It can become only a feeling, a boundary, a quieter movement, a body no longer meeting the full force. The outer world becomes less distinct. Its voices become farther away. Its unfinished matters lose their shape. There is no need to gather them again. They will remain where they are. Morning can look at them with you. For now, the harbor is enough. The smallest movement beneath you is enough. The simple fact of being supported is enough. You can let the words pass without following them. You can let silence appear between them. You can let the silence grow. The boat barely sways. The body barely moves. The breath continues on its own. No steering, no planning, no watching, only support, only shelter, only the protected water carrying you farther inward. The protected water keeps carrying you after words become unnecessary. Nothing more has to be understood. Nothing more has to be placed in the right order. The day can remain outside the wall with all its movement, all its noise, all its unfinished edges. You do not need to return for anything. What matters will still exist when light returns. What was difficult will not become more manageable because you hold it through every remaining hour. What was uncertain will not become certain because you keep your body awake beside it. The wall can keep receiving the swell. You can keep receiving the smaller water. There may still be a faint pull toward the open sea. A final thought may say that you forgot something. Another may try to show you tomorrow from beginning to end. Another may return to the face of someone you care about. You do not need to turn any of them into a journey. Let each thought reach the boundary. Let its urgency break there. What remains can move beneath you without carrying you away. The water lifts, the water lowers, you remain within. The part of you that feared stopping may still be listening. It may be waiting to see whether the quiet can truly last. You do not have to promise it an uninterrupted night. You do not have to guarantee that no sound will wake you. You do not have to guarantee that no worry will return. You can give it something more honest. In this moment, there is less being asked of you. In this moment, your hands are empty. In this moment, the strongest force is beyond the wall. In this moment, you are not required to move. That is enough truth for the body. It does not need certainty about every hour ahead. It needs one quiet fact at a time. The pillow is beneath your head. The surface is beneath your back. Your arms are no longer working. Your legs have no distance left to travel. Your eyes do not have to look for an answer. The boat is tied. The harbor remains. You are not responsible for the weather beyond it. You may have lived as though every change in the sea was a personal instruction. When another person became upset, you moved. When something felt uncertain, you planned. When silence appeared, you filled it. When difficulty rose, you prepared to absorb it. That way of living may have made you dependable. It may also have taught your body that every wave belonged to you. Not every wave belongs to you. Some movement belongs to other people. Some consequences belong to choices you did not make. Some uncertainty belongs to life itself. Some feelings belong to those who are feeling them. You can care without taking all of it inside. You can remain loving without becoming the place where every force lands. The wall breaks what you were never meant to absorb directly. Let it break the fear of someone else's reaction. Let it break the belief that one imperfect day defines you. Let it break the pressure to know what happens next. Let it break the old demand that you must remain ready at all times. You do not have to hear each impact. The stone can receive it quietly. The force becomes smaller before it reaches you. A concern becomes a distant movement. A memory becomes a shape without sharp edges. A task becomes something for another hour. A fear becomes one possible thought instead of the whole future. The body begins to learn the difference. It learns that thinking about danger is not the same as being in danger. It learns that remembering pressure is not the same as pressure arriving now. It learns that someone needing you tomorrow does not mean you must remain available through the night. It learns through stillness. It learns through repetition. It learns because another breath passes and nothing is demanded. Then another, then another. You do not have to count them. The night counts in its own quiet way. It carries one moment into the next without asking you to guide the passage. You have guided enough. You have carried enough direction inside your mind. Where to go, what to do, what to say, how to respond, when to begin, when to hurry, when to hide what you felt. Now there is no direction to follow. The water beneath you does not lead anywhere. It only rocks. It does not ask the boat to improve its position. It does not ask it to choose a destination. It does not ask it to prepare for departure. The boat can remain exactly where it is. You can remain exactly where you are. No correction, no adjustment unless the body naturally asks for one. No attempt to make yourself appear peaceful. No need to produce a feeling that has not arrived. There can be weariness, there can be blankness, there can be quiet sadness, there can be nothing you can name. All of it can be carried. The harbor does not support only the peaceful boat. It supports the one still trembling from the crossing. It supports the one carrying more than it expected. It supports the one that returned later than planned. It supports the one whose surface bears marks from the weather. You do not have to arrive untouched. You only have to arrive. You have arrived. The day is behind the wall. The bed is beneath you. The words are becoming slower. The spaces between them can become wider. Nothing is chasing you through those spaces. No one is waiting there with another demand. The quiet belongs to you. You may not be used to possessing time that serves no visible purpose. You may feel that every minute should be used. There is another kind of use taking place now. The body is being given back to itself. The mind is being released from constant direction. The heart is being given a period in which it does not have to interpret every feeling. This time is not empty. It is protective. It keeps tomorrow's strength from being spent tonight. It lets the inner water settle without being stirred by another task. It gives, as your whole system, a chance to discover that being alive is not the same as being constantly needed. You are alive while doing nothing. You are worthy while producing nothing. You remain connected while answering no one. You remain loving while giving no effort. You remain yourself when the useful roles fall quiet. There is a deeper self beneath the one who manages the day. It does not need to be found tonight. It does not need to be named. You can let it exist without searching for it. It is the part of you that remains when plans disappear, the part that breathes before language, the part that does not have to earn the right to be carried. The world may have taught you to trust action more than receiving. Here, receiving is the action. Receiving the support beneath you. Receiving the slower movement. Receiving distance from the outer sea. Receiving the possibility that morning may meet you differently. You have already given the only answer needed. Enough for now. The answer does not need to be explained. It does not need to be defended. It can stand like stone. Enough for now. A thought may try to negotiate. It may say there is one more thing. Let it meet the same answer. Enough for now. A memory may ask to be reviewed. Enough for now. Tomorrow may try to enter early. Enough for now. The words are not rejection. They are the wall. They keep the full force from entering the place where you have come to lie down. You can trust their shape, short, clear, kind. Nothing beyond them must be decided. You do not have to know whether you will feel better after one night. You do not have to measure what this hour gives. The body may take what it needs in ways you cannot feel. A little less tension in one place. A little more space around one thought. A little more patience available when the light changes. A little more ability to distinguish your responsibility from someone else's. A little more willingness to care for yourself before the next limit is reached. These changes can be quiet. Quiet changes still matter. The wall itself does not move with drama. It remains, wave after wave, stone after stone. Its strength is in the boundary it keeps. Your boundary tonight can remain just as simple. The world is there. You are here. The work is there. You are here. The question is there. You are here. The future is there. You are here. Inside, carried, unrequired, you may feel the body growing heavier. Let the heaviness be welcomed. It is not the heaviness of another burden. It is the heaviness of no longer lifting yourself against support. The head becomes heavier because it no longer has to remain alert. The shoulders become heavier because they are no longer holding themselves high. The arms become heavier because there is nothing to carry. The hands become heavier because there is nothing to fix. The back becomes heavier because it can trust the surface beneath it. The belly becomes heavier because it no longer has to brace. The hips become heavier because they have reached stillness. The legs become heavier because there is nowhere else to go. The feet become heavier because the journey has ended for this day. Let the weight be received. The water receives the boat without asking it to float by effort. You do not have to keep yourself above anything. You can sink into support without disappearing. You can release control without becoming unsafe. You can stop directing without losing your way. There is no way to lose inside the harbor. There is only the quiet water and the wall beyond it. You may hear the outer sea one last time, a distant concern, a faint echo of responsibility, a question without an answer. Let it remain distant. You are not being called back. The sound is only the sound of the world continuing beyond the boundary. It can continue. You do not have to accompany it. The boat does not leave shelter because the storm still exists. It stays because the storm still exists. Let that truth settle deeply. You are not avoiding what matters. You are preserving the strength with which you will meet it. You are not turning away from love. You are preventing love from becoming self-erasure. You are not abandoning tomorrow. You are leaving tomorrow enough of you to receive. Mourning does not need perfection from you. It does not need a repaired life. It does not need every emotion resolved before the first light. It will meet the person who wakes. The person who wakes may still move slowly. The person who wakes may still carry concern. The person who wakes may need more care than one night can give. That person will still have more choices than the exhausted mind can see now. There may be someone to call. There may be something to postpone. There may be a boundary to keep. There may be one small task instead of the whole burden. There may be help you have not yet asked for. There may be a kinder interpretation. There may be no immediate answer, but enough steadiness to wait without harming yourself with fear. You do not need to choose among those possibilities. Morning can do its own seeing. Behind the wall, morning finds me steadier. The line can return once more. Behind the wall, morning finds me steadier. Not because every wave stops, because the full force no longer enters. Not because you become unfeeling, because you are supported while feeling. Not because the future becomes known, because you stop demanding that this hour reveal it. Behind the wall, morning finds me steadier. You can let the sentence fade before it reaches the end. Behind the wall. Morning finds me steadier. The words become water. The water becomes movement. The movement becomes almost nothing. A lift, a lowering, a pause. No need to follow. No need to remember. The mind may lose its place. Let it. The body may move toward deeper quiet. Let it. The voice may become farther away. Let it. You do not need to stay near these words. They know how to leave without taking you with them. You can drift below them, below the plans, below the explanations, below the effort to become calm. The harbor grows darker. The outline of the wall becomes less distinct. You do not need to see it for it to remain. The boats within no longer need to know where the sea begins. They only feel the quieter water. You can feel less now, less of the day, less of the room, less of the need to remain aware. The breathing continues, the heart continues, the hidden work continues. You are no longer supervising any of it. You can leave the body to its wisdom. You can leave the mind to its filing. You can leave the night to its passing. You can leave morning to its arrival. None of them needs your help. There is nothing left for you to carry across these hours. The ropes remain tied, the wall remains steady, the water remains small, you remain supported. A final layer of readiness may still be present. It does not have to disappear. It can become drowsy with you. It can lie down at the edge of awareness. It can stop watching without announcing that it has stopped. You may never know the exact moment when it releases. You do not need to know. The body can cross into sleep without reporting its progress. It can carry you there as quietly as protected water carries a boat. No sudden movement, no effort, no command, only less. Less thought, less sound, less distance between you and sleep. The day is no longer close. Tomorrow is not yet here. There is only this narrowing space where nothing is owed. You do not owe an answer. You do not owe improvement. You do not owe wakefulness. You do not owe the night a perfect surrender. Even resistance can be carried. Even restlessness can be carried. Even the part that remains uncertain can be carried. The water does not require your trust before supporting you. The bed does not require your belief before holding your weight. The darkness does not require your calm before surrounding you. Support can come first. Trust may follow later. You can receive before you understand. You can be carried before you are ready. You can sleep before every part agrees. The mind may continue a little while. The body can move ahead without it. The thoughts can become unfinished sentences. The sentences can become sounds. The sounds can become nothing you need to hold. Inside the wall, the boats barely sway. The sea remains beyond. Its movement no longer belongs to your muscles. Its sound no longer belongs to your thoughts. Its weather no longer belongs to this hour. You have come far enough inward. You have done enough. You have listened enough. You can leave now without moving. Leave the day. Leave the questions. Leave the version of you who was required everywhere. Let that version become quiet. Another part remains. The part that does not perform. The part that receives. The part that can be carried without explanation. Let that part sink lower. Let the face become still. Let the throat become quiet. Let the hands remain open. Let the heart continue without being watched. Let the belly rise and lower. Let the legs disappear into heaviness. Let the feet forget every road. No next step, no next word, no next task. Only the wall, only the water, only the almost motion beneath you. I rest behind the wall, fully carried. The vow does not need strength. It can be breathed once. I rest behind the wall, fully carried. Then left alone, the wall receives. The water carries. The body yields. The mind loosens. The night continues. You do not have to continue with it consciously. The remaining hours can pass without your attention. Morning can approach without being summoned. It can find you where the water has kept you. Not perfect, not untouched. Steadier. Enough for the next breath. Enough for the first light. Enough for one honest step. Nothing else is needed now. The sea is far away. The wall is near. The water barely moves. You are no longer steering. You are no longer watching. You are no longer required. Rest now. Morning will be kind. The harbor keeps you until light remembers your name.